Well, let's play some Monster Train. Let's take a look at the daily challenge first. This one looks quite interesting. We have Primordium as our champion. Secondary clan is Awoken, the exiled version. The mutators are Never Say Die, friendly units get endless. Small cards, -2 cards drawn per turn, and extra pyre. Your pyre gets plus 80 extra health. Now, well, we have Primordium with endless. That's already pretty nice. And we have the Awoken subclan, which, well, they excel at buffing Primordium. So this is probably gonna be a pretty powerful one. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is how we exactly manage our early game, but we'll have to see about that. And by early game I mean the first few turns in a fight, not the start of the run. So, let's jump in and see what cards we have available today. So, Pack Morsels, Glimmer and Cannibalize are our starter cards. Not bad. Nothing too exciting either. We do have a decent amount of morsel generation, but this is countered a little bit by the fact that we only draw 3 cards a turn, so our morsel generation is not that crazy. We have Constructed Explosives enter with Damage Shield on Daedalus, we have Fel with Spell Shield and Armor, and we have Seraph with Sap. Sap Seraph kinda makes me not wanna go Superfood here. I think I probably want Aggressive Edible, but we'll have to see. Gnarled Root. Friendly units get +1 attack per stacks of spikes. That can be tempting. We could buff spikes on Primordium if we go Superfood, and just make the frontliner very strong that way. The problem with spikes is that they will get removed after Primordium dies, well, gets eaten up, and goes back to the top of our deck, and yeah. What are the units I want to buff? A sweep unit would be nice. A multi-striker would obviously be quite interesting. Root Split Mask is not that great. I really don't want to be on the top floor if I can avoid it. But there are a few reasons to pick it. Mostly the fact that we have 2 Glimmers in the deck, and it will make the challenge, Mark of Invasion challenges much easier to deal with, because the enemies will gather on the top floor and a single Glimmer could take care of them all. That's certainly a possibility. I wonder if Gnarled Roots with Primordium would mean he gives the higher attack to the frontliner. It doesn't work with Rage, I'm aware of that, but it could work with Spikes. I'm just gonna try it out. Aggressive Edible, that's what we want. Stalwart Snack, yeah, would be nice to stack some more Spikes onto Primordium and things like that, but we have Endless. We should just go with the Aggressive Edible for more power. Thank you so much for subscribing, Silly, for the 2nd month in a row. Primordium, you say? I would have gone Primordium myself. Yeah. No boss enemies enter with spikes. That's really annoying. The problem with this, Primordium dies to spikes. Main problem here, we don't have a train steward in our opening hand. We can't even play Primordium here. The Apprentice of Light would just kill him, get the damage shield. And that's definitely not what I want. No reason not to Glimmer here, I think. Now the question is, if I can't set up Primordium this turn, do I want to delay with the Cannibalize? Just put Primordium on the top of the deck? That would... The downside with that is that it takes us even longer to find a Train Steward, because we will be drawing not just Primordium again, but also eventually these morsels we generated. I still think it might be worth it. Juggling Primordium as long as possible. So we can actually get the bottom floor set up. I can place this morsel there, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna play all the morsels on the top floor, where it takes the longest time for them to die. Just making sure we draw into Primordium next turn again. I'm gonna take so much damage to this one Apprentice of Light. I should definitely have put the Umbra morsel in the front line. I wish I had an Umbra morsel right now. Oh, that's a big mistake. Now this guy's gonna have a damage shield. Unless I Train Steward on the top floor. How crazy would that be? That would be insane. Madness. This morsel placement actually costs me a lot of score. Oh, never mind. The morsel excavator was always gonna die. I forgot about that. Now I should have placed the Train Stewards further in the back. Because now things are even worse. This guy will get a damage shield. I misplayed that so hard. Whoops. These guys with spikes can be so annoying with their Slay gain damage shield. But I do think that this is gonna be the way to win this fight. Whoops. I hope that doesn't matter. It actually shouldn't. Yeah, it's... small differences like that can really change a lot. This guy getting a damage shield doesn't even matter when the morsel excavator attacks him, because the damage shield is always gonna be gone after that. So I can safely give him a damage shield here even. The extra health is very nice here. Wait, how does he not have a damage shield now? I'm confused. Yeah. That's a lot of damage to take. Lifesteal is good. Is there anything better? Lifesteal gives us... No, lifesteal isn't good. No, wait. We take 8. We go down to 7 health. We eat the Primordium. We go down to up to 10 health. We go down to 2 health and then we lifesteal back up. Yeah, that wins. Nice. We took a bunch of damage here, but we did get the bottom floor kill to make up for it. It doesn't quite make up for it, but it would have been hard killing that first wave, no matter what. Now is the question, do we wanna go into morsels at all? We already have 2 pack morsels and a cannibalize, and these morsels are gonna be endless. I don't think I want any of these cards. Perils of Production, on the other hand, that does have an appeal. Ooh, razor sharp edge. Well, that is some good scaling, but we can only put it on Primordium once. Unless we're okay with killing Primordium, which sometimes we are. Wildwood Sap, Restoring Retreat. Restoring Retreat is also a really powerful card. I honestly like the Restoring Retreat more here. That gives us a lot of options for using morsels, overstacking floors, things like that. I just realized that there are no Awoken banners at all before Daedalus. That's fun. Uh-oh. I think we need a unit for the next fight. We need a priority unit. We can't wait until we draw into a Train Steward. Shadow Eater versus Alloy Construct. Honestly, I think it's Shadow Eater. Shadow Eater works better with aggressive edible Primordium, I think. Has high health, so the attack matters a lot. And Shadow Eater immediately does something. Alloy Construct does nothing on the first turn. So it's very hard getting bottom floor kills. Although, we do have Restoring Retreat. So we could set up on the second floor and then at a later point in the fight descend the construct. That can work, but with just one Restoring Retreat and us only drawing 3 cards a turn, that's gonna be very RNG dependent, at least until we get some more draw. On the other hand, Shadow Eater has no way of dealing with the first frontline unit at all. While Alloy Construct can easily do that. And generally a second floor kill while getting the enemy front lines is much better than a bottom floor kill, but letting the enemy frontliner pass at the start. What I'm really looking for on this Alloy Construct now is an extra stack of multi-strike and just generally higher stats. Something like a large stone wouldn't be bad. Even a hard stone could be nice. But let's reroll and see if we can find multi-strike. Very nice. Do I want a hard stone as well now? What are the current defensive mechanics we have access to? We have Primordium giving some health, but not a whole lot. We have some ways to generate morsels, a little bit of healing. That should be good for a while. And if we can find extra health after Daedalus, that would usually be enough. But we might as well pick it up now. Do we also want a perch? Not yet, I don't think. I think we are better off keeping some gold and taking a look at what the next floor offers. to us. Or the next 2 floors, perhaps. We might not be going for the Merchant of Magic. We probably are going for that. Mark of Innovation. Here is where I kind of wish I had the Root Split Mask. I could set up on the top floor. I basically have to, because I can't really set up very well on the bottom floor. And yeah, this prevents the most damage. We will be taking a hit from one of these clergymen, because they are 8. No, actually we'll be taking a hit from the infiltrator, right? Yep. Because they overstack the floor here. Blink is nice. Give me an aggressive morsel. That still works out. I can still kill everyone there. Because I can make an aggressive morsel. This rubble morsel. Maybe not the best idea to actually use it, because it's gonna come back every turn. So I'm gonna discard it here. The damage shield morsel, on the other hand, very nice to have. Getting extra damage shield every turn. I won't need a lot of Ember next turn, so might as well get a little bit of rage on this guy. There we go, we took 1 damage, 2-turn boss rush. That's acceptable. Immortal Trade. Lifesteal? That's good defense, but that's gonna be valuable later on. We can use it to heal up the alloy construct back to full. If we find superfood, we can use it on Primordium as well. That would make the alloy construct get 3 lifesteal every turn, which it will then use up with the multi-strike. Unless Primordium actually has to attack and loses some lifesteal, but yeah, even then it will be pretty powerful. I think I will skip. I don't think that's really what we're looking for. Sharpen. Sharpen is a good way of cleaning backlines. It sucks not taking this Razor Sharp Edge, but I think Sharpen is better for us. I skipped 2 Razor Sharp Edges right now in an endless Primordium deck. What am I doing? Permafrost. Nope, these are not the units I'm looking for. Although Morsel Maker... No, definitely not. Because of Primordium being endless, we need the space. We can't have Morsel Maker take up that space all the time. Restoring Retreat is important and it's expensive. I want to change that. I also think I want to give it Permafrost. Yes, that's very important. Let's upgrade a Blink and then reroll. Well, I wouldn't have taken double stack anyways, right? On the Sharpen perhaps, but increasing its cost is not that great. It's not really what we want to do with this deck. I'm just gonna buy the small upgrades here. Make these Blinks actually do some damage. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have purged the Blinks instead. Let's get the Train Steward out. Let's actually get a Blink out instead. That one's gonna be easier to purge. It's 0 cost after all. Now. Okay, time for Daedalus. I think we want to set up on the second floor. That should be optimal here. Pack morsels. I really don't want to play these units. Yeah. Let's just keep them in the deck for now. That's +8 attack, that's not bad. We're doing a nice chunk of damage to Daedalus this turn. I feel like we need some kind of defense. No, we're just scaling out damage to the point where we will be well defended. And what I mean by that is that we are scaling the damage on the alloy construct to a point where we don't need defense, but just kill Daedalus on the first turn of the fight. Having the restoring retreat here is very nice. Definitely want to play that next turn. Yeah, I can't descend Daedalus. If I play Glimmer, we still waste 2 hits on the frontliners and then only have like 90 damage on Daedalus. Hi, Karas Divine, welcome. So it's just restoring retreat next turn. Send the construct down to the bottom floor. This train shot doesn't die this turn and the fight will be over next turn. Hey Alex! Yeah, long time no see. We only have 1 fuel. Well, 103 damage times 3, that's... Okay, this is enough. You see 6? Well, that's enough. Whew! That was almost close. Oh, yeah. Yep. It's a furnace tap. We're doing this. Animals of Will. It can't be Animals of Will, can it? We already have the alloy construct. Animals of Will. Animals of Will is just a much better alloy construct once we get some upgrades onto it. A large stone and multi-strike. That's expensive though. The scaling is much better. How about the Wine Modder instead? The problem with that is, if I'm using Alloy Construct as my main unit, I need it to be out on turn 1. Otherwise, this is not gonna work well. I need it to be out on turn 1. I kinda... Animals of Will just works... It's... No, in this challenge I'm not sure it actually works better than the alloy construct. I wish I could include a Wine Modder in this deck. I would really like a Wine Modder. But I feel like I can put another unit in if I want Alloy Construct to be my main unit. So we skip and get an extra draw, so we can actually draw 4 cards a turn now. Left side seems very strong. More draw. Very much appreciated. That is great news. I didn't even get to play my Perching Blink. Let's get a Train Steward and another Train Steward out of here. Same problem as before, except this time the units are worse. Superfood. We need the ability to propagate the Furnace Tap. Yeah, we're up to normal draw now. Ancient Hate. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the small hand simulator is rough. That's really, it's really a significant downside. Well, now that we have superfood. Okay. This guy started with 25 attack. He got 10 from Primordium, bringing him up to 35, and then he gets 4 from the Null Root and no 14 from the Primordium. Okay, numbers check out. We don't need Furnace Tap in this fight. The problem with Furnace Tap is that it might make... No, let me think about this. We have 3 Ember a turn, so next turn we have 0, the turn... This wave, second wave will be on top, third wave we still have 0, fourth wave we have 1. Yes, I can Furnace Tap. I just can't do any other Ember Drain things. And let's purge the Blink. Actually... Yeah, Oh no, 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 no! No, it's not how, that's not how this works. We will propagate the Ember Drain. I should have played it on the Alloy construct, that would have been fine. Yeah, I think I messed it up. At least we have Restoring Retreat on Permafrost. So the only thing we need at this point is drawing the to draw the Perils of Production next turn. We didn't. Yeah, my bad. I forgot about Primordium propagating the Ember Drain as well. I should have played it on the Frontliner, on the construct itself. Then this wouldn't have been an issue at all. And actually I should probably be cycling one morsel here, and Lifesteal is perfect for the job. It is Sap Seraph, it is. And I'm aware that we will be propagating the Sap. But that's not a problem for me. If we can propagate Multi-Strike and Rage, and spikes that give us extra attack, we will be strong enough. Don't you worry about that. We are drawing through our deck much slower with the Morsel Excavator. Maybe I should stop playing it. Yeah, the only thing I really need is the Restoring Retreat. And I need to play that next turn. This Morsel also is generating a lot of extra fuel for us, so that's very nice. Feast versus Cave-In. Also, Prism Retrieval is kind of fun. There is a certain situation where we can draw Primordium with Prism Retrieval because Primordium is endless. But I feel like Feast should be very good in this deck. How about Cave-In though? Cave-In almost seems crucial to get the boss to our floor more often. We currently do have the Restoring Retreat, but Cave-In would be another way to accomplish that, yes. But I think we want the faster scaling with Feast. Feast is also very good in our opening hand because it allows the Alloy Construct to attack immediately, and now we have a second Restoring Retreat at our disposal, if that's what we want, and I think it is. Yes. Yes, I like where this is going. Merchant of Trinkets versus a dupe. But we get removals. What am I looking for in terms of artifacts? I'm not quite sure at this point. Whoops. What would I be very happy about? No. Chain of Gems would be amazing. Commemorative Spike is actually quite okay, but nothing too exciting. Mask of Penumbra is nice. That means I can juggle a morsel and it will pay for itself in terms of draw. Mind Check's probably not as necessary. Shade Lamp definitely no. Refined Void is pretty good. Actually really good. But also very defensive. Wing Technology doesn't really matter. Teeth of Gold doesn't really matter. Thorn Fruit would be amazing. Septap would be very good. Hellspanners would be quite appealing. Yeah, there are enough good relics that I'm happy with going to the left here. And these are two of the best ones. Do I want to keep a final Train Steward in the deck to make it easier to get collectors? I think so. At least for a while. We won't leave them in the deck for very long. Cannibalize is really quite bad in this deck. And onwards we go. Sour of Sorrow. Armor 15 should be fine. We have a lot of damage. Sharpen in the opening hand again. Can I do it? Ember Drain 6. Yeah, I can. That works out. I will have Ember when I need it. Gonna use the pack morsels. Just to generate extra fuel. Drop these morsels on the top floor, where they will most likely never die. And next turn I will be back to having some Ember again, which means I can Restoring Retreat to actually drop you to the bottom floor. Nice. Another target for Zap Seraph might be good. Yeah, that could be nice. Scopation Eruption. Probably not necessary here. We'll not always have such a strong start. Or we can always rely on having 20 attack from Primordium and then Alloy Constructs dealing 45 times 3. That will always happen, because I am gonna take aggressive edible again afterwards. I think we are fine without Excavation Eruption or anything like that. The other two cards just don't appeal to me. Preserved Thorns. That's a nice chunk of extra draw for a turn. These are also 0 cost. Trigger Winged Steel pretty easily. Kind of like it. They can also be very nice in fights where the weaker units are in front. So our construct can actually get to the backliners. This is really good. Because suddenly Ember Drain is much less of an issue. Stirring Retreat deserves a cost reduction. And I think I want an upgraded Glimmer. Just so it stays useful for longer. I wouldn't mind permafrosting the other Restoring Retreat as well. And that's what I'm gonna do. Could have just duped the first one, I guess, but I really want to dupe the Furnace Tap instead. And the Furnace Tap needs a double stack, which we currently don't have. Can we find it soon? We could find it here. The right side is pretty strong, but... Would I take Consume Removal on Furnace Tap? That's a bit harder to justify, but we have a relatively small deck, but also very low draw. I don't think we want anything other on the Sharpen than cost reductions. But do we need those at all? Perhaps. We'll be drawing quite a bit. Search Stone. On the other, Glimmer perhaps? I like that. We don't need to keep the Glimmer in the deck. Let's go on to Fel. Maybe I shouldn't have spent as much gold as I did, because... we'll be pretty low on gold for the next Merchant of Magic. Too bad I can Furnace Tap this turn. Well, this is still okay, this draws after all. We do have enough power here already. Well, of course, this wave is pretty low on health. Do we want to pack morsels? I also messed up the ordering. I should have played Primordium first so I could propagate damage shields. Kinda want a better morsel. Damage shield probably. That seems reasonable. This is not the right turn for Sharpen. But it's not like I can wait on it. And it's also permanent attack. Can we still draw a card this turn? We can't. So the feast is relatively unimportant this turn. still worth playing, I think. Don't want to generate another morsel here. I only want to cycle Primordium and just one additional morsel. This is good. That kills the two backliners, which means we'll be hitting the clipped reflector. We'll be hitting Fell. There are some morsels I don't want. Well. Oh yeah, that works out perfectly. I can feast first, then draw Primordium, then play Primordium, then buff up Primordium. 2 waves remaining. We have 800 damage this turn. Sadly, 800 damage is not 1185 damage. We can Ripfall both of these out of the way and direct, well, Restoring Retreat. Both of these out of the way and direct all the damage we have at Fell. It's just not gonna be enough. We would need to hit another... about 60-70 damage on Primordium. It's not gonna happen. Can draw another card, but it's still not enough. Well, but we certainly have to kill the very next turn with a simple Perils Restoring Retreat and send this bad boy down to the bottom floor to wreak havoc. And Primordium is strong enough to deal with the overcharge tank. Pretty nice to see that. Not that it matters, but... Well, we certainly don't need Wretch. We won't ever have eaten units in our... well, in our eaten pile. Cycle of Life would normally be pretty nice with a deck like this, but it's just not enough damage. Umbra Stone on the other hand, I like that. That's gonna be very good on our construct. It's easily draw again because we solve our energy problems differently. Basically an energy boss relic won't do much for us because we are so heavily in Ember Drain. That's... no, we don't need another Freestone. Cost reduce the Umbra Stone to make it easier to play. No, let's cost reduce the Root Seeds. We're only gonna play Umbra Stone once a fight. I don't think we want that. Permafrost. Holdover on Feast. Is that something we're interested in? I hate not getting double stack on that furnace tap. Or at least consume remove. And the Hellwent is on the Merchant of Steel side, so I can find double stack and dupe it. And I'd rather dupe it than double stack it, so we're more likely to have it at the right time. The holdover feast is just good. That means we probably want a cost reduction. So if we draw multiple in one hand, it's easier to play. And this next fight, we do have that we almost have a guaranteed victory here. With no damage taken and bottom floor kill with this deck. So I don't need to remove yet. I can save more gold. This first wave is actually kind of... wrong order again. Just glad it's likely not gonna matter. Ooh. I think we stack damage shield. And I feel like we want the top floor available for morsels actually. But the collector could spawn there. How are we gonna deal with it? Okay, we are pretty much guaranteed to have a way to deal with it. Worst case, we restore and retreat it down to the floor below. Wait, let me think about this. I do want to draw back into Primordium. That means I feast first, right? I should have played the root seeds first though. That's probably the best way to deal with this. I would have loved having a Glimmer available this turn. Yeah, that's enough multi-strike, to be entirely honest. Might as well give them both trample and some spikes and some attack. And maybe... Nope, that's not gonna help. Shouldn't have done that. Ah, it's okay. I can get rid of quite a few morsels that way. And let's get some damage shield back up online. This is going very well. Let's feast first. This feast plus Mask of Penumbra situation is very nice. Oops. And here we go. Well, these are now in the wrong order, but I don't care. It's not like it will matter with that amount of damage. This is a skip. I don't think we want an Ember Cache in this deck. We don't really have anything in the deck that really benefits from generating extra Ember. Now we do. I kind of feel sorry for those poor bosses. Yeah, they're getting bullied pretty hard today. Okay. The Hellwind is probably better than the Merchant of Magic here. Just because we can dupe the Furnace Tap. But there's also another benefit of going here. If we find Pyrestone Casing... Oh, Wing Clippings! That allows us to potentially play the Furnace Tap multiple times. Let's tap. I feel like at this point we do want to get this Transient out of here. And yeah, 220 Pyre health, that's a lot. Is there anything else we want from this shop? Infused Mallet is nice, but it's certainly not necessary. So let's move on. Let's finish off Seraph. One thing that worries me a little bit is the spawns from Seraph. This is a good opening hand. I was hoping for a useful morsel that I could actually reasonably feed to my construct. This is a good turn for this race bike. It did get discarded, nice. Preserve Thorns got consumed though. Oh, this hand is beautiful. How do we play this? It's pack morsels first, so we only get one morsel. Or do the other ones show up? No, I want some selection as well. We play Feast. Then pack morsels. This morsel will actually draw us 2 cards. Am I okay with playing Perils? I am okay with that. Then we play Primordium as the first unit. We kept the Furnace Tap, very nice. I also want to play Umbra Stone as soon as possible, but this is more important. Okay. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, now we have very strong scaling turns coming up. We're going to 7 multi-strike this turn, 9 next turn. I think we can get a kill next turn. So let's remove this unit. Another multi-strike. Very nice. I should have played it on Primordium. After all, I do have the feast. This is already lethal. Yeah, 300 times 10. That's a nice alloy construct. Just goes to town. Doesn't stop. Doesn't stop until the Seraph is dead. That's a good score. That was a pretty early Seraph kill. 6 turn, I think. We do have a sizable amount of gold as well. And I don't think we ever took damage after the first two fights. That's correct. And all 3 turn boss rushes except for the second fight. Yeah, and Never Say Die plus Primordium. I knew this was gonna be a good one. Small Hands gave us a bit of trouble at the beginning, but we picked up so much draw with the Winged Steel, Mask of Penumbra, and 2 Hersel's Compounds, Root Seeds, and the Preserve Thorns with the Stings, that this really didn't feel like Small Hands had much of an impact in the end. Nice and powerful deck. Really showed off the power of Superfood plus Furnace Tap. And we just had 1 unit. And that unit was very strong. Let's see, we should be, yeah, second place. Just below Halt. Let's take a look at what that guy did to get the better score. 4 turn boss rush against Fel. That will do it. Had a bit of trouble with the clip guard. And struggled slightly more on the first combat. So, Wine Model. I think that's probably what screwed them on the clip guard. I would have loved to have a Wine Model in this deck, because it's extra draw. The problem with that, if you draw Wine Model first, then the alloy construct is much harder to use. Wait. How did this guy get his bottom floor kills? On Daedalus, he can set up on the bottom floor, I think. And then with Blinks, Glimmers, that will possibly do the job. Clip guard? How did they deal with clip guard? Oh! Also he went with higher buff face decks and... That is interesting. That is very interesting. He did not have any descent effects. Really surprising he managed to beat me out, but well played, Halt. Impressive. They had a slightly smaller deck than us, so That certainly helped. Wary. This guy went with full-on aggressive edible. Took way too many units. This seems like a bit of a messy deck. But I like the Shadow Eater. That's pretty awesome with the 1 capacity. Not sure about this Wilting Sapwood and some of the other stuff. But... Ooh. This guy perfected the first fight. Maybe with the power... Yeah! Root Split Mask makes this possible. Because the first wave won't ever reach the pyre. You can just win on the bottom floor before the first wave reaches the pyre. Although Gnarled Root actually did give us quite a boost to attack in the end, thanks to the Sharpen. So, I'm not sure. But that's something I liked about the Root Split Mask. Yeah, this guy was just consistency master. A lot of gold. All 3 turns, never take any damage. No flying kill either. I can respect that. That's a reasonable approach to daily challenges. And finally, let's look at this last one. Huge Y-Modder. Alloy Construct Primordium combination, Sapwood as well. Double the Awoken's Rail Spike. Holdover Cave-In. Double stacked Wildwood Sap, but Primordium didn't have Superfood. Interesting. Seems like it worked out pretty well for this guy too. Took some damage on the Disciple Conduits, but also he avoided some damage with the Root Split Mask. Yeah, so this first relic choice is actually... It was actually kind of close, because Root Split Mask is pretty nice for score, while the extra attack from the spikes can give you more damage to get earlier kills. For us, the Root Split Mask would have been superior. Would the Root Split Mask actually have given us the first place? We needed 215 points. We could have gotten 360 points from this fight if we had the Root Split Mask. So yes, the Root Split Mask would have given us the top spot. At least I think so. I don't think the extra attack from the spikes was really necessary to get that Seraph kill. It looked kind of close, but I could always have descended the Gilded Wings there, so we were always gonna have that kill on that turn. Yeah, we would have had less damage, but I think we would still have had enough damage to get the Seraph kill on the first turn. On the 5th turn, I think it was. Anyways, that's it for the daily challenge.